So pretty much in example 2, you just looked at the general power rule, the chain rule shortcut, right? So this would be, again, part 2 of the first lesson. So y equals u, so the external function raised to the nth power with the internal function being dependent on x, u of x, where u is a differentiable function of x and n is a rational number, then the derivative of y with respect to x is n, right, times u of x raised to the n minus 1 times du dx times the derivative of the internal part, right? That would be like u prime of x. All right, and again, it's just rewritten right there. So let's practice this a couple more times. So we're looking at finding the derivative of y with respect to x for each of the following, right? So the first thing, again, you want to do is break it down, right? So find the internal function, what's u, and in this case, it happens to be 3x minus 2x squared. And then pretty much, if you notice here, we're applying the chain rule, right? Because our external function is just that. So y equals u raised to the third power. So first find the prime for the top part. So that would be u prime is equal to 3 minus 4x. And then the derivative at the bottom, y prime, that would be 3u squared. And again, so that you can say that dy dx is equal to 3u squared, right? Substitute this again if you want to get rid of the u. That's just 3x minus 2x squared, right? That's just the internal function. So this is going to be 3 times 3x minus 2x squared times the derivative of the internal function, which is 3 minus 4x. And again, simplify one more time, right? Or actually, you can just leave it right there. You don't have to distribute that 3, and that's pretty much going to get you to your answer, right? So now looking at example B, so we want to find, again, first let's break it down, right? What's the internal, what's the external function? So first, actually this one you want to rewrite it with a fractional exponent, right? Because you have a root. So this would be equal to x squared minus 1, quantity squared, and then this would be the cubic root, so that would be over 3. So here, again, the internal function is u, right? That would be x squared minus 1. The external function would be the thing that's outside, which would be u raised to the 2/3, right? So that's our external function. So again, dy dx, right? So dy dx, first we got to find u prime. So u prime is going to be just 2x, and then y prime will be equal to 2 over 3 times u, subtract 1 from that, raised to the negative 1/3. Or 2 over 3u to the 1/3. All right, and then here, that gives us pretty much, this is going to be equal to, so the derivative, again, y prime, right? So that would be 2 over 3u to the 1/3 times the derivative of the inside, which is just 2x over 1. Resubstitute, so we're going to get 2 over 3 times x squared minus 1 raised to the 1/3. And then 2x times 2x, 2 times 2x gives us 4x. So that would be our y prime. So again, make sure you guys are reminding yourselves to break it down into steps. That way it seems a little bit easier. Take it step by step. Don't try to do everything at once and then try to combine, right? So again, the first thing is, what's the internal? What's the external function? So here, if you notice, you have a negative 7. So let's rewrite it. So we have y equals negative 7 times 1. Or in this case, I want to rewrite it with a negative exponent, right? So let's rewrite it with a negative exponent. So negative 7 times 2x minus 3 raised to the negative 2. So once I rewrite it with the negative exponent, I can apply the power rule a little bit easier now, right? I don't have to be worried about having a fraction there. So there's a constant there, right? So negative 7 is going to stay here. So dy dx, right? I'm going to make sure I write down the negative 7. That way I don't forget about it. So times, we have the internal function u is 2x minus 3. And the external function y is, in this case, is just going to be u to the negative 2, right? I already put the negative 7. I'm going to put it down here just in case, all right? Actually, yeah. I'm going to make sure I do it in here first and then forget about the other part right there. So here, again, that gives us u prime will be easily just 2, right? Simple enough. The derivative of negative 7u to the negative 2. So that would be negative 7 times negative 2 is positive 14. And then subtract 1 from that, you get u to the negative 3. Or 14 over u to the third power. All right, so that's our y prime. So 14 over u, which in this case, again, is already 2x minus 3, right? That's our internal function, times the derivative of our internal function, which is just 2, right? Forgetting a cube right there. So our final answer would be just 28 over 2x minus 3 quantity cubed.